Boo! Today's video, we got 6 most disturbing moments caught on live television footage. Try not to get scared. Let's get into the video.
On the 30th of June 2025, a reporter named Leniel Du Frazão went live from the Miriam River in Brazil to cover a tragic incident that happened there just a day earlier. In the early hours of June 29, a group of teenagers had decided to go for a swim in the river. Unfortunately, they underestimated its depth, resulting in the disappearance of 13-year-old Raíssa Fernandes. Seconds after entering the water, her friends watched her dip beneath the surface.
Damn, that sucks, man.
Anyone saw her alive. Divers looked for her underwater, while rescuers scoured the riverbank, hoping she might have washed ashore somewhere. But even after hours of searching, Raíssa was nowhere to be found. Leniel Du intended to use this broadcast as an opportunity to educate viewers on the dangers of river currents and general river safety, not knowing that he was about to solve the mystery of Raíssa's disappearance on live TV. He took off his shoes and started slowly walking into the river.
Why, man? Why would you do that?
Increase in depth and how dangerous it can be for inexperienced swimmers.
Quanto mais você desce, mais fundo fica. Ó, aqui, ó. Até que aqui é de boa, mas só que é uma descida. Aqui onde ela se afogou, gente, é uma descida. Pra você ver aqui, ó, o tanto que eu passei aqui, daqui dá mais ou menos uns 2,5 metros. Ó, e quanto mais
Don't keep going down there, though.
diferença aqui já onde eu estou agora, ó.
You see it's deep. Why you keep going down?
E ainda tem a correnteza. Aqui já, olha, ó, um passinho pra
Bro,
frente,
this guy's
já
asking
tá
for it.
praticamente me cobrindo. Então o risco aqui é muito grande.
Alright, bro, you come back up, bro. You don't need to keep... We understand the dangers. Like, you don't need to keep trying to show us.
Ó a fundura aqui, ó. Ui.
Yo, get out the water! You felt something in your foot. Get out the water! The fuck are you doing?
Tem negócio aqui no fundo da água.
Then get out the water! You felt there was something down there in the bottom of the water. Get out the water! Why are you still in the water? The fuck are you doing? Get out!
While trying to demonstrate the river's deceptive drop-off, Leniel Du accidentally stepped on...
Nigga is retarded. Nigga is dumb as hell. Dude was like, I felt something down in the water. That could be an alligator. That could be a crocodile. That could be a reptile. And the nigga just stays there instead of getting out the water. Like, what are you doing? Bro, you're asking for it. Whatever happens to you, you're asking for it, bro. Fuck. I don't give a fuck.
And it wasn't long before divers recovered the remains of
Nigga supposed that could have been an alligator, that could have been easily a crocodile, that could have been a reptile. And then the nigga could have died right there. And then the nigga still stayed in the water instead of him to just run out the water. First of all, I'm not even getting in the water to begin with. I was never gonna get in that water. The fuck?
Station in Albany, New York, received a
What are you doing,
email
bro?
with a 2-page document. It contained a nearly incomprehensible rant featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger, archaic centuries-old laws, and a proposal to create a board of trustees with prosecutorial immunity. However, the most important aspect of this document wasn't its content. Instead, the reason it stood out among the hundreds of emails the channel received every day was its author, 53-year-old Lawrence Krauss, who also included a selfie alongside the document. You see, Lawrence was currently under investigation for ending the lives of his own parents and getting away with it for over 8 years. It happened in August 2017. His 86-year-old father and 83-year-old mother were living out their retirement in their home in Crestwood Court in Albany, New York. And suddenly they were gone without a trace. None of the neighbors saw them leaving or heard anything about where they were going. Their house was also left abandoned, with Lawrence only visiting it occasionally to collect mail, mow the lawn, and clear the snow. When asked about his parents, he claimed that they had moved back to Germany and won't be coming back. The neighbors had no reason to distrust Lawrence, so no one questioned their absence and life went on as usual. A distant relative even requested a welfare check in 2020. But the neighbors repeated the same explanation Lawrence had given, ending the officer's questioning without any further suspicion. It wasn't until mid-2025 that the Albany police became aware of something shady going on with the Krauss family. Someone had been collecting Lawrence's parents' social security payments, even though the two hadn't been seen in years. This resulted in the police launching a formal investigation, and after months, finally executing a search warrant at the Krauss home on September 23rd. Over the next 48 hours, detectives collected thousands of financial documents and other evidence. More importantly, they discovered the remains of Lawrence's parents buried in the backyard. Lawrence likely knew that he was the prime suspect in this case. But instead of turning himself in or trying to run away, he made the unusual decision of sending this document to the local news network alongside his contact information. One of the directors at CBS 6 was familiar with the Krause case and immediately jumped at the opportunity to interview Lawrence. After giving him a call, Lawrence claimed that he was willing to do a live interview with the channel only if they published his document on the internet for everyone to see. The network agreed, and less than an hour later, Lawrence was sitting with a CBS 6 reporter for a live interview. Lawrence was a bit hesitant at first, but after some pressure, he cracked and confessed to everything.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What did you do to your parents?
I buried them in their property.
You buried them in the backyard of that house in Albany.
Right.
When it actually happened, when your parents died, did they know what was happening to them?
Oh, yeah.
And they knew it was at your hand?
Well, yes, no one else's.
Right. So they realized what you were doing to them as it happened.
Yes.
They knew that this was it for them, that they were perishing at your hand.
Yes. And it was so quick.
How did you do it?
Yeah, I can't talk about that.
Well, you've just told us that
Right.
it was at your hand.
Right.
Were there drugs involved? Was
No.
there a suffocation? You suffocated them? You suffocated your parents?
Yeah.
What made this confession so disturbing, however, was the way Lawrence tried to portray it as something righteous. His argument essentially boiled down to, my parents were suffering from old age, so I did them a favor. Even though the neighbors described the couple as elderly, they were by no means sick or bedridden. They had normal routines where they tended to their garden, shared mint leaves with neighbors' kids, and listened to Polish music every day. Their lives weren't nearly as miserable as Lawrence tried to portray during this interview. Now, it's unclear if he's severely mentally ill and genuinely believed everything he was saying, or if this interview was his way of trying to paint himself as the concerned son to earn the public's favor before his inevitable arrest. In either case, he had no way of escaping the consequences of his heartless
Nigga's
actions.
weird, bro.
He was arrested
Nigga's
immediately
weird as
after
fuck.
walking out of the network's building and is
Nigga's
currently
fucking
awaiting
weird,
trial for
bro.
the death of his parents.
Arrest his ass, bro. Life in prison, hopefully. Nigga's weird
On
as
the night of
fuck.
October
The
28,
fuck?
2023, the Utilita Arena in Sheffield, England was packed.
Oh, we got a
with
hockey
1,000
game.
spectators.
Okay.
They were there to watch the ice hockey match between the Nottingham Panthers
What
and
could
the Sheffield
possibly
Steelers.
happen at
The
a
whole thing
hockey
was
game?
also being broadcast live on TV for fans across the world, and the match started off completely normal. The first period ended without either team scoring a point. About 35 minutes later, the score was 4-2 in favor of the Sheffield Steelers. The Panthers needed to score soon if they wanted to make a comeback. So, one of their more renowned players, Adam Johnson, got a hold of the puck and started pushing into the Steelers' defensive zone. But before he could reach the goal, the match got interrupted by one of the most tragic incidents in ice hockey history. As Adam was making his way to the goal, a different
fuck
player
happened?
of his team bumped into Matt Petgrave of the Steelers. This resulted in Matt getting launched in the air and slicing Adam's neck with one of his
Oh! Not the skate blade. Oh! Ay, ay, ay! Come on, man. Them shit's as sharp as a motherfucker.
In front of both the live crowd and the TV audience. Medics at the arena tried to save the
Not the
bleeding,
skate
but the cut was too
blade.
deep. He had already lost a lot of blood on the ice. Adam was then rushed to a nearby hospital. Unfortunately,
Yo,
despite
oh
going
my
into surgery
God.
as quickly as possible, Adam couldn't survive the injury and passed away just hours later. Matt was arrested shortly after on suspicion that he had cut Adam on purpose.
Bro.
However, investigators found no.
Oh my fucking God,
Ultimately ruled
bro.
it a tragic accident.
Bro, you gotta be careful, bro. Come on, bro. You know them skate blades are sharp as shit. Come on, man. You know them shits is sharp as shit. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. That was no accident, bro. That was no accident. That was not accidental. Oh my, he died on a hockey court,
On the
literally.
evening of September 2,
Come on, man.
2011, TBN, one of
Come
the
on,
biggest
man.
networks in
Do
Chile,
better.
was airing the latest episode
Fuck.
of a show called Calle 7. It was a live game show where teams competed in various challenges to make their way to the top, and this weekend's episode was supposed to be no different. But things took a disturbing turn about halfway through the episode when the show's host interrupted the competitors seemingly out of nowhere and told them to stop.
Que paren la competencia. Quiero que paren la competencia, por favor.
Stop the competition.
Nos acaba de llegar una información muy difícil de entregar.
Bro.
No habíamos querido decir nada antes de chequear bien lo que estaba sucediendo porque compromete a personajes del canal, a personas muy queridas, a un equipo del canal, entre ellos Felipe Camiroaga y Bruce, Roberto Bruce, que también estaba en aquel vuelo a la isla de Juan Fernández, según tengo entendido. Es información que nos está llegando en este momento. El Ministerio de Defensa informó esta tarde al presidente de la República que un equipo de TVN iba al borde de una nave de la Fuerza Aérea de Chile que capotó en el archipiélago de Juan Fernández.
Oh, a
However, the
crash.
reason for this interruption had nothing to do
Damn.
with the show itself. The host was talking about
A
the
plane
C-212
crash, oh my
Chilean Air
God.
Force plane that departed from the Arturo Marino Benitez International Airport earlier.
Bro, that's why I'd be scared to get on planes, bro. Planes be scary as shit, especially when they're over the ocean.
Hundreds of
Woo!
miles off the coast of Chile.
Boy, you know I can't swim.
TV crew from the
You know,
network, including
a
the
nigga
two
can't swim, you know what I'm saying?
presenters, Felipe Camiroaga and Roberto Bruce. They were visiting Robinson Crusoe Island to report on the
Damn.
reconstruction after the 2010 earthquake. The flight started with.
Yeah, y'all gotta be careful out there, you know what I'm saying?
As they were approaching the
Life
runway,
is-
the wind became
Life
extremely
is very
strong,
precious,
and
but
it
also
lost
very
control.
short.
The pilot
So
tried to
you
land a
gotta
couple
be
of times,
careful,
circling the air
bro.
after each
My
attempt.
number one priority in life,
On the third
health
attempt,
and safety.
witnesses
Health
saw
and
the plane
safety.
lose
That's my
altitude
number one
much
priority.
faster
That's
than
all I care
expected
about.
and crash into
My
the
health and my
ocean just a
safety.
mile from the island. By
I'm
the
very,
time
very
rescuers
happy
reached the
and
crash
blessed
site, it was already too late.
with this
All
life that God has
21
given
people
me,
aboard the
you know?
C-212 plane had
Oh,
passed
life
away.
is very precious,
While
man.
investigators initially
Make
believed that
every
all
moment
those
count.
deaths were due to the impact
That's a
of the
life lesson right
crash,
there.
the reality turned out
And
to be
you
far
didn't have to
darker.
pay for me to tell
As
you
they were
that, too.
searching the wreckage, they found footage that one of the cameramen took of the interior shortly before the crash. The footage showed the passengers strapped into their seats, completely unaware of
Are
their
there
fate.
footage of this?
The more haunting discovery
What
happened
the
when investigators
fuck?
found an SD card inside an empty water bottle floating near the crash site. This card contained
Crashed
hundreds
on the
of
ocean?
images. However, analysis of these images
But
showed that
like,
two of them were
especially the people that
taken
can't
after
swim,
the crash,
you're already
including
cooked to
one of the
begin with.
plane's
Like,
windows covered in water. These
laying on an
images put
ocean on a
crash
car
into
crash and you
complete
can't swim?
perspective. They
Oh
showed
boy.
several passengers,
Ooh boy, you better hope there's a
including victims, took these
lifeboat
photos
or a
and preserved the SD
lifesaver
card in the
or
bottle, like
you
they
know,
survived the
like
initial
you just better
crash.
pray.
Sadly, they were
That's all I gotta
trapped inside
say.
a rapidly sinking plane
That's
with the
literally
wind,
that's footage right
forced to
there.
watch their
That's
aircraft fill
literally
up with water until
footage.
there was no air left to breathe.
It's crazy. And we got an ad. We're gonna skip this motherfucker.
No air
There you
left to
go.
breathe. Niagara Falls is widely regarded as one of the world's most breathtaking natural wonders. However, while the surface is undeniably beautiful, the depths beneath the falls hide the disturbing history of many who lost their lives to the currents. One such incident was captured live on TV on May 30, 1985, when reporter Phil Kavitz was hosting a section about real estate in front of the falls. Suddenly, in the background, the camera
Oh!
captured a man
Oh, there's something in the background.
Phil. The rushing water
Oh,
carried him to the
turn
edge of the
around,
falls
bro.
before throwing him over
Yo,
the
who's the
hundreds of
cameraman?
feet
Because the cameraman is turned around. It's just a reporter that's not turned around. Bro, I seen something in the background. That's crazy. How did they not spot it? How did the cameraman especially not spot that? That's crazy. The fuck was he, she, whatever gender you are? What the fuck were you doing?
Robert was only one of the 5,000 bodies that have been recovered from the foot of the falls in the last 175 years. Many of these 5,000 deaths were intentional, but there were a lot that weren't.
Bro,
And
for attention is
unfortunately,
crazy.
surviving a fall
I mean, people
from
would do
Niagara
shit
Falls
like
is
that for
never
attention.
possible. Once
Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to go viral on the internet. I wanna, you know what I'm saying? I want to pop off. I want to be talked about. Like, people would do anything for attention and to go viral. I'm telling you, bro. Like, and it's crazy. They would literally risk their health just to go viral. It's like, bro, it's never that deep, gang. Like, it's never that deep.
On the 23rd of August 2010 at around 10 a.m., 21 tourists from Hong Kong returned to their tour bus after visiting the historic Fort Santiago in Manila, Philippines. They were also accompanied by 3 Filipino tour guides, and the trip had been going fantastic so far. But just as they were about to set out to the next location, they got interrupted by a middle-aged man in a police uniform. He was openly carrying multiple firearms, and his demeanor made it clear he wasn't afraid
Fuck
to
is that?
use them
That's blurred
either.
out.
Something that became even more apparent as time went on. For now, things started off fairly calm, with him asking the driver for a ride to the next station. The bus driver tried to reject the request respectfully, explaining that he couldn't let him on because it was a private vehicle, not a public bus. However, the man wasn't having any of it. As soon as the bus driver rejected his request, he equipped one of his firearms and claimed that he was taking the bus hostage. This was 55-year-old Rolando Mendoza, a police officer with nearly 30 years of service. But he'd recently been fired over drug charges that Rolando claimed were untrue. Getting fired left him with no pension after 3 decades of hard work. And while he tried to fight for his job through official means, his superiors wouldn't listen. In an act of desperation and defiance, Rolando took this bus full of tourists hostage and presented a single demand. He wanted his job back. The situation so far looked fairly manageable, with 2 of his former colleagues establishing communications without any pushback. They were even able to convince him to release a few of the hostages. Granting his relatively simple demand would have been easy, but what followed was one of the biggest hostage disasters in the country's history, all because those in charge couldn't agree on the next move. Things started going downhill when Rolando's brother tried to approach the bus and was immediately detained by the officers. This made the already furious Rolando even angrier and more unstable. The situation only got worse once the media got involved. Nearly every news channel in the country started broadcasting the situation live. They talked about everything, including the plans officials were making outside. What they didn't know, however, was that the bus had a working TV and Rolando was watching and listening in on everything. This could have helped him formulate a plan and get what he wanted without hurting anyone. Unfortunately, the lackluster response from the officials made a peaceful resolution near impossible. His anger reached a boiling point when he saw how his brother was being treated by the
Arrest
police
his
on live
ass.
TV. This resulted
Arrest
in
him.
Rolando getting blinded by rage and opening fire
Freaking
on the
weirdo.
hostages. Around the same time, the bus driver managed to free himself from the handcuffs Rolando put him in and
Bro, he
through the
escaped?
driver's side door. Unfortunately, while
Wait, what
he
is he
was able to
doing?
remain unharmed, other hostages weren't as lucky, since, according to the bus driver, they were all dead, leaving Rolando alone in the bus. This revelation gave authorities the go-ahead to surround the bus and try to break in without any more casualties. But Rolando wasn't willing to go down without a fight. As soon as they tried to enter through the emergency exit, Rolando opened fire, hitting one officer on his bulletproof helmet and barely missing the others. So the officers thought of a different strategy. They flooded the back of the bus with tear gas, forcing him to the front, right into the crosshairs of a sniper, finally ending the hostage crisis. It wasn't until after his death that police realized the bus driver had misunderstood the situation and that 9 of the hostages
Nice.
were still alive.
Hopefully nobody died or
Massive
anything.
loss of innocent lives
Rescuing
broadcast
the
live for the world to
hostages.
see,
So I love to
coupled with
see.
Officials making wrong decisions at every turn drew intense global scrutiny, marking this as one of the worst and most tragic incidents in Filipino history.
Well, that'll do it for this video. Shout out Chilling Scares, man. He always comes in with the videos that people want to watch, with the scary videos especially. So just shout out his channel. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Make sure you go subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.